The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation has a new president and CEO. The chairman of OLG, Peter Deeb, announced today the appointment of A. Duncan Hannay. Deeb describes Hannay as a seasoned executive with global expertise transforming and growing organizations. Hannay says he's looking forward to working with OLG's executive team on a strategy for the future. Hannay replaces Stephen Rigby, who agreed to stay on as CEO until a successor was chosen and to assist with the transition. Sioux Online was notified this morning about a possible overdose death in the 200 block of First Avenue last night. Officials with Sault Ste. Marie Police Service stated an incident at that location last night is currently under investigation. The address is also said to be well known to Sioux Police. Starting October 23rd, the Algoma Ontario Health Team, in partnership with several community partners, will open a community flu clinic at the GFL Memorial Gardens in Sault Ste. Marie. Visits will be done by appointment only. All individuals will be pre-screened for illness and exposure to COVID-19. Physical distancing, controlled flow, and infection prevention and control measures will be followed. Increased environmental cleaning and medical staff on site as well. Head to our website, siouxonline.com, for information on how to book an appointment. The City of Sault Ste. Marie is reopening the Dennis Street bus terminal on Monday. In compliance with provincial guidelines for opening facilities and in consultation with Algoma Public Health, seating will be spaced to ensure 2 meters of physical distancing is maintained. Mandatory masking will be required with the exception of those with respiratory or medical conditions or those who have difficulty putting a mask on themselves. Only 10 people will be allowed in the terminal at one time, and this will be enforced by the transit inspector, concession worker, and security. Food purchased from the concession must be consumed outside the terminal as per public health regulations. Daniel LaPrade is up next with your local weather right after this.
Good evening and welcome back on your Friday. We're just getting to the weekend here, and well, it's been a bit of a nice break today. We haven't seen a whole lot of showers, but we are going to see things changing up as we get into the evening once again. We'll take this time quickly to remind you that Northern Lights Detailing is our weather sponsor. They're at 632 Great Northern Road. Their sign that is outside in their parking lot says, "Splish Splash, it's time for a bath." So if your car needs a bath, make sure you go and check them out and speak to Marnie, and she will take care of you. And they will also like to remind you to vote for them as the #1 detailing company in Sault Ste. Marie. Okay, so let's get into the radar. As mentioned, we had some spotty showers throughout the morning and a couple of times throughout the afternoon moving through our region, and we're going to see that continue. As we get into the overnight is where we're going to see another risk of some snow showers and maybe some rain depending on where you are, what elevation you're at. So that's what's coming up overnight tonight. And we do have a bit of a mixed bag weekend coming up as well. So let's get into your details here. First, we will look at the camera, which is brought to you by wirelesscom.ca. Thank you very much for sponsoring that. And if you need to check out their services, you can go to their website, which is right there in their name. So as you can see, still not too bad out there. It is cool though. The winds are around, so make sure you bundle up. Have an umbrella just in case, and do, get out and enjoy those fall colors while they're still around before all the leaves start to fall. So your expected highs today for the region were not that warm. 5 in Thunder Bay, 3 in Wawa, 6 in Timmins, 8 here in Sault Ste. Marie, and 6s in Elliott Lake and Sudbury. But those overnight lows, and yes, Thunder Bay, you're looking at -8 tonight. Wawa, you're looking at -2 with 5 centimeters of snowfall, and Timmins -2 as well. 1 here in Sault Ste. Marie, and then we're getting down to 2 in Elliott Lake and Sudbury. So it's a little bit cooler as you go north. Do keep that in mind driving on the highway. The highway conditions may get bad if it snows up towards Wawa. All right, so tonight we will see mainly cloudy, 60% chance of rain, showers, or flurries. It'll clear before the morning on Saturday, and then we'll enjoy that for a couple of hours before it starts to cloud over and begin to rain in the afternoon. Winds will become south 30 kilometers, gusting to 50 late in the morning, and we will see a high of 9 and then a low of 5 overnight, with those periods of rain continuing into Sunday morning. Sunday, you'll see cloudy with a 60% chance of showers. Once again, 8 degrees, but we're going to drop drastically as we go into the Sunday overnight. 60% chance of flurries or rain showers on Sunday night. -1 is your low. And Monday is our break here. We're going to see 7 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. Do have a 60% chance of a shower passing through in the morning, and then as we get to the nighttime on Monday, for it's 1 degree is your low, you do have a 60% chance of showers. So this is like the trend for pretty much every day here. There's a shower or snow shower passing through. It's just that time of year where we're not going to get sustained sun or dry weather. Okay, so continuing on, Tuesday you're looking at a mix of sun and cloud. 7 degrees your high, and then we're going to see the rain return for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rather. High of 10 on Thursday, so that'll be your warm spot. Overnight lows going down to -1 on Sunday, bumping back up to 5 and 6 degrees by midweek, but we are going to see chances of snow showers on a few of those nights, so do get ready for that. And while speaking of snow showers, this photo was sent in by Tracy Pelche, and it is about 70 kilometers north of Sault Ste. Marie in the bush. And as you can see, that is some snowfall from last night. We didn't see that amount here in Sault Ste. Marie, but being that they are further north and higher up in elevations there was a few centimeters. So it's coming, and it's going to be sticking around here soon enough. So get ready for that. But let's go to something a little bit more lighthearted for now. So here's some fall colors reflecting on McCarroll Lake with those beautiful clouds. And this is sent in by Patty Parker. Thank you very much for sending that in to us. And if you do want to send in your photos, it's ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name and location. And they go up on SiouxOnline.com as well as on our show, First Local, and on the newscasts. And of course, it goes to our Facebook and Twitter feeds. So we want to thank everybody for sending them in. And while you're on SiouxOnline.com or myalgoma.ca, make sure you take the time to go to the social media channels, the links on the right side where you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we're also on Instagram, which is @OnTV channel, where you can see behind the scenes stuff, and all that fun stuff is there for you. So hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Have a safe weekend if you're out driving in these weather conditions. And I will see you Monday morning. Mike will be back with more news right after this.
A message from the Government of Canada.
MP Terry Sheehan has announced $2.6 million in funding for small and medium-sized businesses in Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Sheehan made the announcement in his capacity as Parliamentary Secretary for Melanie Joly, the minister responsible for FedNor. The money is designed to help the region modernize, adopt new technologies, increase competitiveness, and create jobs. Sheehan says this investment will enable community partners, such as the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Centre and Sault College, to work with the private sector to support the commercialization and adoption of technologies and accelerate business growth to create jobs across the region. Ontario is reporting 712 new cases of COVID-19 today, along with 9 new deaths related to the novel coronavirus. Health Minister Christine Elliott says 213 of the new cases are in Toronto, 135 are in Peel Region, 108 are in Ottawa, and 62 are in York Region. Elliott says 713 cases have been marked as resolved over the past 24 hours. The province now has a total of 62,908 cases of COVID-19, including 54,004 that are considered resolved and 3,031 deaths. An Ontario woman has been charged with breaching federal quarantine rules after allegedly returning to work in a long-term care facility soon after traveling abroad. Ottawa police say a complaint received October 2nd alleged the woman had returned to Canada on September 26th. They allege she was required under the Quarantine Act to quarantine until October 9th, but returned to work on September 30th at a long-term care facility in Ottawa. Police say management sent the employee home and cleaned the facility after learning of the situation, and no residents have tested positive for COVID-19. The 53-year-old woman has since been charged with failing to comply with the 14-day isolation condition of the Quarantine Act and with causing risk of imminent death or serious bodily harm under the Act. A summer baby boom in the long-struggling George River caribou herd in Labrador and Quebec has led to an increase in population numbers for the first time in more than 25 years. A population census estimates the herd's population to be 8,100 animals, up from 2018's estimate of 5,500 animals. It's a big gain, but a far cry from the herd's historic high of more than 750,000 animals. Hunting the George River herd has been banned since 2013. Before then, the annual days-long caribou hunt was an important source of food for the Inuit along Labrador's north coast. Stats Canada says manufacturing sales fell 2% to $52.4 billion in August, weighed down by a drop in the transportation sector. The decline followed 3 consecutive months of strong increases. Economists on average had expected a decline of 1.4% for the month. Sales in the transportation equipment industry fell 13.7% to $9.6 billion as Canadian exports of motor vehicles and auto parts fell in August. Excluding transportation equipment, manufacturing sales rose 1.1%. A national Muslim organization has released security footage it says shows the killing of a 58-year-old volunteer outside a mosque in Toronto. The National Council of Canadian Muslims posted a video on social media last night that purportedly captures the death of Mohammed Aslim Zafis on September 12th. The grainy 46-second security camera clip appears to show someone seated outside the International Muslim Organization facing the building's parking lot. Someone else is seen walking behind the seated person, then approaching them from behind. There's a brief scuffle, then the seated person stands up and collapses to the ground as the other person runs away. Guilherme von Nudegem has been charged with first-degree murder in Zafis' death, and the mosque has called on police to investigate the matter as a hate crime. 2 House of Commons committee meetings dragged on for hours yesterday as Liberal MPs continued to filibuster opposition efforts to reopen their investigations into the We Charity affair. The Finance Committee spent 11 hours debating amendments to a Conservative motion denouncing redactions to roughly 5,000 pages of documents released by the government in August, just as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau prorogued Parliament, shutting down 4 separate committee investigations into the affair. The Ethics Committee met for 10 hours discussing a Conservative motion calling on Speaker's Spotlight, the agency that arranged speaking engagements for Trudeau's wife, mother, and brother at We events, to hand over 12 years of receipts for the trio's paid appearances. Both finished talking for the day without resolution when Bloc Québécois MPs joined Liberals in voting to pause. I'm Mike McDonald. We have more news and weather coming up.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to be.
For all those times.
Every 3 seconds, someone will develop Alzheimer's, a fatal disease that steals your memories and makes you forget the people you love most. Fortunately, there is hope. Today, researchers believe a cure is just a few years away.
It's okay, Daddy, you can go. Just go.
For just $9 a month, you can fund research for a cure and make history by ending this disease.